Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department. Does anybody know what that's about? Public Affairs and Religious Liberty? By a show of hands, anybody has an idea of what that's about? I'm not seeing any hands. All right, so then perhaps it's a good thing that I'm here to just give you an idea of the work that the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department does and how we may be of service to you. All right, so while I'm awaiting the presentation, let's just think about, what the words themselves say and what that could possibly mean. Public affairs and religious liberty. Now, this department is one that is of critical importance to us as Seventh-day Adventists because religious liberty is so key to us being able to practice our faith. I see it's on the screen. All right, so the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department, or as we call it, PARL, is a department of the Seventh-day Adventist Church that promotes religious liberty and represents the church in government issues. Next slide. All right, so these are the PARL objectives. These are the things that we hope to accomplish as a ministry, not just at the local church, but at the conference level as well. So PARL supports religious liberty as a fundamental principle of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. PARL represents the church in government issues and hosts diplomatic meetings. PARL works to educate members about their rights as citizens and their responsibilities. And PARL works to position the church to be credible, trustworthy, and relevant. So in an effort to raise awareness about religious liberty, what the church has done is that we, from time to time, host initiatives to, raise awareness about this importance of religious liberty and to let others know, our other brothers and sisters who believe in God, that religious liberty is not just for Seventh-day Adventists, because sometimes we may think that, right? That we keep Sabbath, and so we may believe that these issues only concern us, but no. As Seventh-day Adventists, we are of the firm view that religious liberty is for everyone. Who is religious liberty for? For everyone. And so, just last week, the union, right, the Jamaica Union, hosted a religious liberty summit. And there were many distinguished guests. One of them was the Honorable Prime Minister. And this is a quote from that session. He said, the government remains committed to ensuring that the country's laws, and policies reflect respect for religious freedom and diversity. Next slide. We have heard the voices of those who may feel that their religious observances are sometimes misunderstood or disregarded. These concerns are legitimate, and as a society, we must work together to find solutions that uphold both individual rights and institutional responsibilities. Now, what we really loved about this seminar is that it wasn't just a Seventh-day Adventist summit. It was a coming together of believers across the board because it really signified that we understand as Seventh-day Adventists and we promote as Seventh-day Adventists that freedom of conscience, yes, and the ability to live by one's faith and beliefs is not just a Seventh-day Adventist right, but it is a human right. And so that summit was really key in bringing together different stakeholders in the government and different religious groups who came together to really champion the cause of religious liberty. And so let's move on to the next slide. We want you here at church to understand that when you are operating in different spheres of life, whether it may be school, whether it may be in the workplace, your right to live in accordance with your conscience is a constitutional right. And so the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Department is here to assist you whenever you find yourself in difficulties when it comes to being able to observe your religious beliefs. And so at the union level, The Communication and Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director is Elder Nigel Coke. Then at the East Jamaica Conference, the Public Affairs and Religious Liberty Director is Dr. Pastor Omar Oliphant. And locally, right here at Hagley Park Church, next slide, please, thank you. The Public Affairs and Religious Liberty head of the department is Sister Keon Vaz, and assisting in the department is yours truly, Kyla Richards-Saunders. So we're hoping this year and moving forward that you would remember that this department exists, that we are here to serve you, and you don't have to feel like you're alone when you're in the workplace and you're told you have to come in on Sabbath, or you have an exam that has been scheduled for the Sabbath. Remember that this department is here. We are here to serve you. And if ever you have any challenge, just come to me, Keon, Wafer, in case there's anybody who doesn't know who you are. It's this lovely lady in the front here in red. You can come to her. We are here ready and willing to serve you. So we'll be here again to give you more information. But I